I own 33 Airbnbs, and at one point we had up to 51 properties owned. And I'll be real with you. Bookkeeping used to be the part I absolutely hated the most. QuickBooks didn't cut it out. I just hated it. I just refused to use it. And most bookkeepers didn't really understand short-term rentals, when really that goes back to your CPA too. But at the end of the day, it just became a lot to say, yes, all these utilities go for this, all the utilities go for that. And the problem is, I had all these properties under 1 or 2 bank accounts, which was really stupid. And I thought I needed to make some changes over the last couple of years, and this is what we did. QuickBooks just wasn't cutting it. Frankly, I kind of hated using it. I thought it was clunky. It was weird. It was kind of dumb to me. But if we're downloading it from the bank statement to go upload it into QuickBooks and recatalog it, why isn't it just in the banking system? Wouldn't that make more sense? And whenever I talk to bookkeepers, I just felt like, yeah, we're going to charge you $50 a property, and $50 a property, even $30 a property at 50 properties started to seem a little overkill. So frankly, I just thought it was too expensive or it was too clunky. And then when it came to tax season, it felt like punishment. I was literally like, oh my God, my CPA is going to kill me. And I got to say which thing is attached to which property and which receipt this, which receipt that. And I just was like, oh great. I have a shoebox full of nightmares I got to address. And guess what? That's not a very fun, sexy, or time-efficient use of my time. And I thought to myself, oh God, when I sit down with my wife to go over this, we are both going to be very frustrated. It's going to take hours and hours, probably a full week. And frankly, it just felt like punishment. We didn't know what to do with it. It just felt like too much. And it felt like a stupidly easy task that should be automatic. But then, out of nowhere, I found out about a couple things. And one of them was Baselane. And it fixed all of it. All of it. And not because it's just a bank. It lets you create a unique account for each property. Not a spreadsheet, not a tag. A legit separate bank account. And on top of that, that means clean books, clear P&Ls for each property, real-time cash flow insights across your entire portfolio or just the one you need to check up on. You can literally see what's profitable and what's not instantly. And I gotta be honest with you, for a little while there, we weren't sure which properties were actually making us money. Now we know. You also get a unique debit card per property. That's right, no additional cost, no nothing like that. You just get one. So your cleaner, your VA, your maintenance guy, you have one single method to pay all of them. Oh, and by the way, I don't know how long it'll last, but right now they offer free ACHs from each of those accounts to pay whoever you need to. So what happens when you have a clear debit card per property? You pay from the right property account each time correctly. And that makes your bookkeeping 100% easier at your end. It's damn near impossible to mess up your books with this setup. Look, even if you still want a bookkeeper, this is the cleanest way to keep everything organized. No commingling, no confusion, no 2 a.m. texts asking, what was this $93 charge for in March? I don't damn know, that was 6 months ago. You get instant reports, monthly P&Ls, year-end reports, full cash flow visibility per property and the total portfolio. It's wild how much time this saves, and honestly, it just makes you a better entrepreneur because you're able to see it in real time and not wonder how that property's doing. I really need to check in. Now you can just see it. With a click of a button, you can sort it by time, by property, by set of properties, whatever you want to do. It's just done. It's easy. If you've got even one property, start using Baselane now. At this point, it's free. It works. You need it. And it'll make your life 10 times easier and cleaner. Oh, and a major bonus point I forgot. I don't know about you, but whenever you set up bank accounts, like when I used to go into Chase or Huntington or wherever I went, it would be a guaranteed hour setup period. Bring in your documents, make sure you sit there and you're waiting and you're wasting your time. But when you're setting up bank accounts for this one for each property, it takes 5 seconds. 5 seconds versus an hour at the bank and the drive time. You got to understand that as a person and frankly as an entrepreneur, you need to be paying attention to how much time you're putting into every part of your life. And this is only going to speed things up and simplify things moving forward. So it's time to get on it. One other thing that's cool is let's say you have 10 properties in here and they all have about $1,000 of value in them. That's $10,000 across the portfolio. What's cool is the whole system reads the total value in that account and it gives you a percentage return of savings on everything that's in the account. So it's not just one property is at 1,000, so now you're only valued at 1,000. It values it at 10,000. And the higher the value is in your total account, the higher the pay rate is. So what's cool is you can get up to 3.35% interest on all of your total accounts combined in your login. And let me tell you, it starts to add up pretty quick. So let's say you're in the middle of May like we are, and we want to look at one of our properties and see how we're doing. So far, we're pretty much at a break even. We're down 20 bucks. And that's kind of good because we got another 10 days to be profitable. So right now, the mortgage is pretty much paying for itself, and it still gives us a little bit of time to make some money. How about this property? And what's cool is right now we're profiting actually $2,400. This is after mortgage and all the current utilities that have already hit for the last month into this month. All the bills are paid is what I'm saying. So what we can see is right now we actually have a net of $2,400 after spending over $3,500 just this month. Now that's not the same case for when we were actually rehabbing it, because this is one of the things that you want to see, because when you're in the middle of a rehab, what happens is you get so busy shelling money out, and it's pretty painful. And sometimes I don't even want to look at this, but I'm going to show you something, and this is why. Or for instance, this property, we did a full rehab last October, and now we're about 6-7 months into ownership. And here's where we're at. We're actually at a $59,000 loss, even after getting the refi money back in here. Why? Because the holding expenses really racked up. And as the holding expenses and all the other expenses started racking up, it really started to hurt us. But now what we're actually starting to see is profit. Because why? It's up and running as an Airbnb. And now we're going to start to see how much longer it takes to get that net cash flow over the last 12 months down to zero or a positive number. This is how I do it at home in between cooking dinner and having my toddler throw food in my face. This is how I get my banking done. I go to add account. I pick which login I want to have. I pick what kind of checking or saving account I want to have. I give it a name, 123 Main. And by the way, it doesn't have to be a property. It could be just a savings account. It could be a vacation fund or whatever you want. And guess what? Just toggle this on, add the property if you've created it, and that's going to auto tag everything that goes in there from now on. Without you even thinking about it, it's going to auto tag everything to 123 Main Street, making your bookkeeping much easier and much faster. And if you're done, you just hit I agree, create account, you're done. New account in probably, I don't know, less than 30 seconds. And if I wasn't talking, probably 5. What about rent collection and leases? They do it all in here. But I just added my first property for rent collection with Baselane just last month. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. And how do you do it? Well, it's pretty freaking easy. Go over here to the left, go to rent collection, you click set up rent collection, you pick a property or you add property if it's missing. And I want to pick 123 Main Street in Virginia. Boom, I can add some more information. I can figure out if it's single unit or multi-unit, which gives you a chance to rent them individually. I really like how the drop down works here. And then you go to continue. And then now that you have that, you go to continue one more time. You pick if it's fixed or month to month. So you just throw in your lease start date. We're going with a month to month because we inherited the tenant. $1,500 a month rent, just put in here. You can pick which day you want the rent to start on. I just added a late fee at $75. You're overdue, you haven't paid by the 5th day. And then boom, continue. You can do collect security deposit because this would need its own unique account in most states. You put the amount, security deposit due date, and you can mark it if it's paid already or not. If you inherited a tenant, you're going to probably mark it as paid. You're going to put in that amount and say it was already due in a past time. Now, in this case, we don't know. We're probably going to have that fight one day later on, but let's just presume for right now it's a normal thing. We charged him the equivalent month rent, and we are going to charge it for the day he moves in, which is supposedly going to be today. And we're going to collect last month's rent. Are we? No, because he hasn't moved in yet. And you have an option to collect last month's rent up front. Now, I used to not do this, but lately I've been doing this because I've seen higher default. So I would put that in here right there, and I'd set it for December 14. I don't know. Hopefully that works. But if we do receive it, then great. Otherwise, if we already had received it, then we would mark as paid. And let's say they're moving in 10 days out of the month. So then we have to make sure it's prorated. So what is that amount on the 20th? It's pretty simple math. It's 10 days of 30, which is a third of the rent. A third of the rent is approximately $500. So that's how prorated rent would work. Continue. Boom. All the data is there. You hit it. Account to receive. You got to pick which account you created to receive the rent. Account to receive the deposit. You probably create a new thing for a security deposit. In most states, it's going to be required that you create a new account that has no interest-bearing potential on it. Check your state law. They'll probably name it the exact same thing, except you're going to add security deposit at the end. 123 Main Street, security deposit account. Done. And then it's going to ask you to enter your tenant details. So if you have one, you can put it in for a new tenant or you can find an existing tenant. So what's cool is if you already have them in the system, it's already saved and it's ready to go. It's unlikely that that will be the case. And then you just do confirm and invite, and guess what? And boom, everything gets sent off to the tenant to get added to the bank system, so you are collecting rent automatically. Oh, but Matt, what if we don't have a lease agreement? Easy, Baselane's got you covered. You go here, new lease agreement. draft or upload. So yeah, if you have one that you really like, you just upload it. If you want to draft a new one, that's all you got to do. So we're going to pick a property. We're going to hit continue. We're going to pick all that information that we are just talking about, rent them out. Going to enter it all in there for you. We're going to do on the 8th month. I don't know why, but we're going to go with it for now. It's going to pick the tenant. If you already have, since we already entered one, boom, we're going to do this. Right now they have it set up where it's now a $10 thing. I don't think they actually charged me when I did it. So I've just signed, sent, and hopefully done. Not a bad deal. Again, you can create your own, upload it, and get it signed. There's many ways to do this. Overall, I think it's a great addition, but it's not necessarily something I care about as much as I used to. And again, I probably want to use my own lease based on what I've been doing over the last few years to make sure people are paying and respecting the property. If you have any questions about Baselane or how to get into short-term rentals and how to set these things up, feel free to DM me. If you think Baselane could work for you and your business, I have a link just below that can get you signed up. Use our promo link and hopefully you have a great time using Baselane. And for those of you that are looking to grow and scale into short-term rentals, convert long-term rentals to furnished rentals, or just buy the right asset off the bat, reach out to us about our mastermind. We'd love to talk to you about joining.